Today was on a beautiful walk in the forest, not far from my home. Behind me is a frozen river. It's about probably right around 0 or 1 degrees today. So it's very balmy, beautiful. So I decided to stop in on drop at a friend, swallowed it off, and we met at the grocery store and checked things out. I got some frozen strawberries. It's around 10 o'clock. I still haven't eaten, but I feel fantastic. I've noticed that I have been eating a lot less, very much less, which I credit to being emotionally content, emotionally satisfied, and I feel a strong sense of energy coming from that. So there's no need to find comfort in food if there is a comfort that supersedes food. So yeah, I'm here in this forest, deep in the forest. I'm very deep in the forest, and to my knowledge, there's nobody in the vicinity. So I'm taking advantage of that. And I had a thought while I was walking because a friend of mine who is new to my life and I care about each other very deeply, and we were struggling with some things. We were struggling with our beliefs, and our minds were creating a lot of false truths. In other words, sometimes somebody will say something to you, and it may be inaccurate to exactly who you are. So they may be making assumptions of who you are. And because of that, they may say something that triggers you to then start mentalizing and creating realities that aren't even true. And those are struggles that people go through when they have relationships with people that are essentially different from them. Everybody has their differences. And so I came up with an analogy, or I saw some symbolism today. I did the trail run, which I normally do. It's a beautiful hilly forest, and I was having a great time. And I was thinking, okay, this is where I finished the lap, and I'm on the final run back to my car. And I looked left, and there was a path that looked like it had not been. Nobody had really been on it, and so I thought, heck, it's a nice day. Why not check it out? So I kept walking and following it, and it was rough. It was rough terrain, and it was struggles. There were struggles to, my foot kept breaking through ice, and I'd get stuck, and ice would fall into my boot, and it was uncomfortable. It wasn't a nice, easy walk. And I came to the end of the trail, which said private property. It didn't say do not enter. It just said private property. So I took that as they're just covering their ass with a sign to say, if anybody hurts themselves, then it's their own. It's on them. So their liability. They're covering their ass. And so I went through there underneath that sign and went and kept following it. And I saw, and I was kind of, I was there. I was in this new forbidden territory almost. It felt like I needed to, be very careful, quiet, stealthy, and aware. And the trail was getting even more difficult to terrain or traverse. And so I see a bridge, what looks like a bridge over a river. And so my interest is piqued, my curiosity. I'm thinking, okay, I'll just check out that bridge. And then if there's a house there or it's somebody lives in the vicinity, then I will, pull back. So I reached the bridge, and the bridge itself had, maybe I'll show you the bridge later, get some clips of that bridge. It was not exactly, I wouldn't say my life was at risk by crossing it, but it wasn't, it took some skill and balance to get across. And I got to the other side of the bridge. And this is where I'm going to stop the story and say, the difficulties are the bridge, of course. And when we cross through a bridge we may do things that are very uncomfortable in life. But when you get to the other side, sometimes you discover a whole new world, and you open up so many doors to new possibilities if you're just willing to sacrifice your comforts and allow curiosity to get the best of you. Because now I'll go back to the story of what's happening right now. I get to the other side of the bridge, and I've discovered an entirely new forest with trails that nobody's using. It's it's almost unmapped territory. It's like a farmer made all these trails, but nobody ever uses them. Maybe he's an old farmer, and maybe it's just because it's so far off the beaten path, and most people are more concerned with their money and stuff like that. Now, as I say that, I'm walking here, and I have just discovered that there is a well-trodden snowmobile path here, and that's cool. That just means that the trails are here, and I'm gonna use them as I like, when I like. And if anybody has a problem with that, well, they can take it up with me, and maybe we'll discover some new. Well, maybe we'll cross some new bridges, unlock some new doors, and discover some new rooms that we never knew existed, and have fun with it. And here we go. Here's another bridge. Same river, crossing over back to the other side. Never seen this in my life. Now this looks... Oh, this does say no trespassing, private property. And so you don't want to be private propertying or no trespassing unless, of course, you're curious about what's on the other side. And once again, maybe they weren't talking to me when they said no trespassing. Maybe the no trespassing meant do not cross this bridge and be disrespectful. You understand? That could be the case. No hunting, that's a good sign. I like that sign. No hunting. That's proper. That's a proper sign. So yeah, that's about it.